Well, we got some good news. We have the final piece that I need to start putting the red car back together. This little dude right here. This is my fuel pressure sensor. And this sits right on top, and the gas tank's the first thing that needs to go back in. So I need to put this in there at least, and with the wiring. And then I'll worry about the wiring later once I get it, you know, routed into the car. But I'd like to have this on there so I don't have to drop the tank in the future when I want to clear this check engine light for this guy. So this guy will be going into the car today. Another cool thing that I forgot I even had, I got shifter bushings, nice poly new ones. That's my rear shifter bushing, and this is the, I don't remember what this is called, but it goes up front right off the trans. So we're going to put these in first, and then I'm going to replace this sensor, and then I'm going to try laying down some wire on top of the gas tank to figure out where I want it to go. And then I'll just be putting everything back together in the car like normal. I didn't really film this because I wasn't even sure if it actually worked out for me or not, but it did. So I pulled that's where all the shifter linkage is at. I pulled it straight up and out after I went underneath and loosened all the bolts I needed. Pulled it out, and then, as you can see here, this is the old one. This is also another old one. And these are the new ones, way better looking. Also, I put in the short shifter right before I ended up tearing this whole thing apart last summer. So this is pretty nice looking right now. The only thing that I want to do later on is there's a little joint right here that connects to the rest of the linkage onto the trans. And these are notorious for giving you a sloppy feel in your shifter on Subarus because they just blow out and people never remember or even think twice to replace these. I don't know why, but it's just a thing. Now that I got this done, I'm going to put this back in the car, and then I'm going to get underneath there, and I'm going to just keep going at putting everything back together, starting with the sensor that goes on top right here. I'll put the pressure sensor into this hose right here after I get the old nub out of there, and then I will lay the wiring down on top of here and put this up. Then it'll be the rest of all the other, you know, parts that are a little easier than what I'm doing to start with. So let's just keep going. Okay. Noah stopped by. I had his help on this one. We got the gas tank wiring all kind of put on here. It looks a little rough right now. So take into account this is going to be kind of temporary because this is my first go at, you know, putting this 6 in here and doing the wiring. There's a lot of different ways you can go about doing all this. For right now, the one thing I was waiting on was that sensor I showed you guys already this morning. That's in there now. The plate that's newly painted and coated is back on. The other, I don't even know what that's called, but another little sensor dude's on there. And this is kind of janky, but we have one bundle of wiring, which is the Outback wiring that goes to the float or whatever the hell that is, leveler, something like that. And it goes over to the newly merged Impreza fuel pump plug right here. And the other bit of wiring is going to this fuel pressure sensor, this guy, and goes over to where my charcoal canister stuff plugs into. And then over here, we'll have to drill a hole or two for this stuff because one is for the Outback and one is for the Impreza. So right now what we're about to do, we're about to clean up a little bit of this mess from doing that. We're going to move this back under the car. We're going to try to lift it up with a jack and put the straps back on to hold it up in place. And we can just keep going at all the other little parts.
Yeah, rear end.
Yeah. So, yeah, let's go. I didn't show it. I was trying to rush because it's starting to rain. But I got the whole rear cradle up there with the 4 bolts to hold that up. Now, it's starting to rain on me, but I'm really trying to rush this so I can at least get this T-bar in. I'd like to. That'd be the 2 big things, the cradle and this T-bar. So I'm gonna try to throw this up there real quick. Should have the 2 that go, it's like a weird, oh, I have them right here. I should put them in right now anyways. These guys, these go, yeah, let me show you actually, geez, oh feet. These guys go in here, like that. It's like this, a little crusty, don't mind that. A little surface dresser. See, we painted these holes and now they're a little snug. Just okay. All right, so those guys go in there like that, and that's what the rear diff mounts to, besides the 2 that go in the back, like the studs that go into the cradle. But this guy will go up there. I'll put these 2 massive bolts through, one on this side, one on the other side. And there's those little brackets that go on those bolts and to the side skirts underneath the car over here. But it's starting to rain. I'm gonna try to rush this really quick and at least get this in the car. Started raining a little bit harder on me, so I got a little tired of sitting out there working underneath the car. So today what we got to do is, I'd like to show you, but I kind of wanted to show you the finished product. But I got to put the lateral links in, the trailing arms in, the axles in, and the knuckles in. I think that's it. We're actually really right on schedule right now. Oh, the rotors and pads and the calipers, because I got the new rotors and pads, so that'll look a little better. But yeah, you guys can watch me finish up putting all this stuff together. But I might not record all of it so that you kind of get to see the lateral links and their color and everything right at the end. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I'm not in love with them, but I do like it, but I'm not in love with it. It's not what I thought it was going to look like. So, we'll see, whatever, screw it. You can just watch me do that now, though. Alright, I'm getting at this. I have one side basically done, but I don't want to show you quite yet until it's all done now. I was looking at my brake pads. I thought these were pretty bad, so I ordered, because I want to eventually do a big brake kit. I want to do the Cadillac brake swap on the front, and then I think it's the Legacy GT brake swap on the rear, I'm not sure. But anyways, eventually in the future I want to do a big brake swap on this car, but I can't afford it right now. And I knew that my pads weren't great, so I bought new rotors and pads for it. But I took these off, and oh my god, there was nothing left. Like, if you stack them up to that guy, to the new guy, see if I can show you that. That's high quality right there. That's lovely. Yep. I like these ones too because they're pretty, you know, cheap for just stock rotors and pads, but they're also like, I think it's powder coated, but they're powder coated on the main hub in the center and along the outside edge right here, and on the back side as well, just a little bit. Just it kind of helps keep them a little fresh, a little less rusty. Yeah, inside there. But I'm gonna keep at this after I eat some lunch real quick, and then by the time, I think in a couple hours, I should have all of it done and put back together, and then you guys can really see underneath. All right, you guys want to see something cool? She is complete back here, and yes, I painted them yellow. It's not exactly what I was expecting. I saw other people with dark red cars with like a red and black scheme using some hints of yellow here and there, and it looked pretty nice. Maybe it'll grow on me, I don't know. Now, I'm about to drop her down for the first time in like over a week or two now. The only thing is that I didn't put the exhaust back in yet because when we were pulling it out, we actually broke it. So, yeah, I'm not really concerned about it yet, but I will be very, very soon. So, I'm going to drop this down, clean up my mess a little bit, and then I'm going to focus on trying to hook up that wiring that we pulled from the junkyard at the beginning of all this. Seeing if maybe even by tonight we can try starting this thing. What do you guys know about jack stands leaving marks in your driveway because they're just sitting there for so damn long? Alright, I just cleaned up a little bit, and now I'm ready to start getting this wiring in this car. I gotta take out the Impreza wiring that I just have sitting in here, and unplug a couple things that I had plugged in prior, and then just start laying out the wiring and plugging it in where I think it should go. Put the battery in the car and try starting it, and then just, I guess, go from there and see why it doesn't start, because no way it does. No way. I don't have that kind of luck on my side, but let's get at it. Okay, I've got this wiring laid out a little bit to where I can understand it better now. This is the front of the car. This is actually the passenger side right here. This plugs into the bulkhead harness underneath the dash right on this side, and it goes over underneath the two front seats, plugs into the other side of the bulkhead harness, and a little bit of this goes slightly down the driver's side, but really all of it's mainly right here. Goes down to the side of the car on the passenger side, that goes to the back, and this goes to the back. And this is actually where I'll plug in the fuel pump right here, and this goes to the other door, so it wraps all the way around in a big U at the end of it. And this is extra wiring that I have that goes to like up to the roof and into the rear hatch more, the defrost, a trail, what do you call it, trailer lights right there, a hookup for them. I ended up taking that because it was hooked up, and I just cut right where the wires are, like right where they merged them onto the harness. So that, I think it'd be kind of funny eventually maybe to put a hitch on this thing and be able to pull like something small, like a jet ski or something with it. But I have them right there, so if I ever want to, I can hook it right back up to it. But yeah, now we're gonna get at laying this out in the car and plugging in a few things that we have to start, and the ground, and seeing if we can get started or not. Okay, I put the battery in. I have the bare minimum plugged into this rest of the harness and onto the body of the car. I'm gonna start from here, I guess, and see if it'll start, and it probably won't, so I'm gonna just keep going from there, I guess, after this, but let's see. That sounded not so great. So something is definitely not right with my starter, so I'm gonna start taking that out to see what the hell it's doing before I just destroy my flywheel or something. Also, the fuel pump is not turning on, not getting voltage, so the fun begins. I don't really know where to go from there, so I'm going to start looking at wiring diagrams once again. But first, let me pull this starter out, and let's go from there. Alright, new starter is in. I just tried it, it sounded a lot better. I'll start it again for you guys so you guys can hear it, at least try to start. All we need now is fuel though, and I'm sure I'm going to run out of daylight here in just a little bit, so we're going to start back at this tomorrow. But yeah, listen to how much better this sounds with an actual starter that's intact and not in a couple pieces. This is ridiculous. Wow, it almost started. Holy shit. Okay, so I wasn't recording it, and I don't know why. Maybe I just didn't think it was going to work or something, but I got the car running for the first time, and I've never had this thing running before, so it was really freaking cool. But I forgot one of these little clamps on the fuel lines, and it pressurized and got everywhere in the back of the engine bay. I got my fire extinguisher here, just in case, but I'm really hoping nothing bad happens. But I'm going to try it again so you guys can watch. Okay. Got the fire extinguisher. And I'm gonna go for a little drive, hopefully. We'll see. I'm not sure if it'll even go. But we're gonna try to move.